What's up with y'all, man? What's poppin'? This your boy Tez, the Logistics Rookie. And I know I've been throwing a lot of content out there, but you know consistency wins every time. But today has been a rough day. It's one of those slow days. And it's almost about 4 o'clock. That's when all the shippers stop shipping out loads. So today is pretty much shot. It's pretty much over with. But I want to talk to you guys today about credit and why having great credit is a myth. You may have heard all your life from family members, business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever. You may have heard many people tell you about having good credit. You need to have great credit. You need to have 650, 750, 800, 700, 600, whatever the case may be. So all my life I carried that myth on, and I thought that was true until it came time for me to get ready to start this business and purchase my van. I found out the lie that I was told all my life, that having only good credit will get you by every time. That's not the case today. I don't know how it was 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. It's 2020. The game changed. I went to the car dealership, right? That's how I purchased this vehicle. This is a brand new 2018. Had money saved up. You got to understand, when you're trying to do business, especially businesses that require overhead, when you're trying to get a loan or borrow some money, whatever it is you're trying to do, always, even in your personal life, when you're trying to get a mortgage, you're trying to get some credit cards, whatever, come to the table with something. You need some collateral. You need some money, or you need something of value to be able to bring to the table. Don't come to the table butt booty naked with nothing on hand. Because if you let the people that you are borrowing the money from front the whole thing, front the whole 100%, they own you, man. I mean, they own you anyway. Remember, it says in the Bible, the borrower is a slave to the lender. But at least if you come to the table with a good size of monetary value, at least you guys can strike up a partnership. You got to understand something. When it comes to borrowing money, try to establish partnerships with these people, not being a slave to them. Know the difference. So I came to the table with a good little couple of grand on hand to the dealership. The people were telling me, hey, first of all, before I even got the car, let me backtrack. I went to the credit union. You know, the credit union, they got great interest rates. Now, I can't speak on every credit union in the country, but I know here in Arizona, many of the credit unions, they let you get a personal auto loan for 2 to 3%. So I went to the credit union before I started, before I purchased this vehicle. I said, hey, I would like to get pre-approved for a personal auto loan. They said, bet, we got to run your credit. My credit is excellent. My credit is great. Very great. I'm not going to tell you the exact numbers, but you probably can guess by the expression I just made. But so dude ran my credit, but he told me I was going to get denied automatically because my employment history, just too many gaps in it. Y'all know me. Y'all know my crazy self. I've had about, I think, between 10 to 12 jobs in the span of 6 years, since 2014 when I first started working. Ever since then, I had about 10 to 12 jobs all those years. This dude was telling me, because of that, I was going to automatically get denied for a personal auto loan. My credit was great, but he told me off the strength of that alone, I was going to get denied. And I'm trying to tell this man, the last job I had, I worked full time at my alma mater in the sales department. I did that job for about almost 2 years. That still didn't matter to them. When you trying to get loans or whatever, this is what I realized. Because he wasn't on the one that told me that. That's just the best example I can provide. But he wasn't on the one to tell me that. What I realized, these people want consistency in your employment history. I don't know how specific they want it. 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know. But when you coming to the table, you trying to do mortgages and auto loans, man, make sure your employment history is straight, man. Stay at your job for a few years. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, guys. But stay at your job for a few years. Don't be in no rush, trying to get out your job. Just show some consistency, because you gonna need to borrow some money, man. And that does make a difference. That employment history. Nobody ever told me that. I didn't realize that. I had to find out the hard way. So I got denied for the personal loan. So I went down to the dealership. I hate doing business with dealerships. Every vehicle I have bought before this one, cash only. Because I don't trust dealerships. They shiesty. They either give you a high interest rates, or they make you put way more down than you coming in the door with. But something I never could trust them. But anyway, went to the dealership, tried to get approved. I brought my bread to the table. I tried to get approved. They tried to run my credit to see if I can get a great interest rate and a good monthly down payment. The dealership that I went to before I went to the dealership that I got this car from, they had me on the 13% interest rate because they told me my credit was too new. How is my credit new? I've been had credit since 2015. I had a college credit card for years, 2-3 years. And my first car that I bought when I was 19 years old, I financed until I got into a car accident and my insurance company paid it off. Guess what? They don't matter. They don't matter. So that 13% interest rate threw me off. So I left that dealership, went down to this dealership that I got this van from. They told me the same thing. You and your wife, your credit is too new. We don't know what we can do with you, but we can run your credit to see if you guys get approved. We're going to run your credit through 3 different banks. If neither one of them approves you, you're going to have to bring this van back. That's what they told me. They ran my credit. I already had the van. They gave me 5 days. If nobody approved, I had to take this back. 5 days went by, I get a call. Come on back to the dealership. We need to talk to you. I already knew what time it was. Got to the dealership. They told me. Luckily, only one bank approved you guys, financing this van. The others denied you. So we narrowly escaped. But we escaped. And we got the van. But the point I'm trying to make, going through that whole experience, I found out when it comes, having great credit is not good enough for nobody anymore. It don't matter. You can have an 800, but if your credit is new, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna get nothing. If you've never borrowed nothing a large amount, that won't help you. Because remember that college credit card I was telling you guys about? It was only about $700 limit on there. I was in college 3 years. I never even reached the limit. And the car that I financed when I was 19, there was nothing but $4,000. Remember, I got into the accident, so don't count. So back to my point number 2. Make sure when you're trying to establish some credits, remember, come to the table with a good amount on hand. I say 10, 20%. If you can. and finance a decent amount, 10, 15,000 starting out. Number 3, get your employment history straight. Make sure you show some consistency. And number 4, do your market research. Don't go to the banks all the time. Don't go to these dealerships all the time. You know, try these credit unions out, see what they can do for you. Which brings me to my next point. Make sure you are banking with a good bank or a good credit union, whatever you do. Make sure you banking with somebody who's going to look out for you. But having great credit is a myth. It's not good enough no more. If these people are looking at employment history, how long you've had credit, what's the largest amount you ever borrowed, they look at all that, bro. It's a myth. Stay focused. If you got any questions, hit me up on Instagram at Mr_Tez, or hit me up on Tez Williams at untamedlogistics.com. Stay focused. 100.